Roy Smith is our market analyst this week. The U.S. harvest is starting slowly, according to the USDA's latest report. As of Sunday, the nation's farmers had harvested 7% of their corn and 3% of their soybeans. Both are behind the 5-year averages, as are state numbers from Nebraska. Farmers here had combined 3% of their corn and only 1% of their soybeans. We started our discussion with Roy Wednesday afternoon by asking for an update on crops in his area of Cass County, Nebraska.
Well, the corn is maturing pretty fast. The soybeans are a little slower. They're dropping leaves, but certainly not ready to harvest by any stretch of the imagination. There's a little bit of corn harvest that's being done for people that can dry, or if they can go directly to an ethanol plant. But basically, I think we're maybe a week away on the beans and probably a little more than that on the corn.
It's humbling to look at the markets now and see where corn and soybeans are, but is there any peace to be had in knowing that maybe the harvest low is near?
Well, it's possible. You know, I can look at those long-term seasonal charts that I keep and say, well, this year the prices really followed the charts very closely, and for people who believe in them and use them, it's been, I'd say, less of a problem experience. Nobody likes to see prices go down, but at least if you sold some back there when the chart said to sell, you're not in quite such bad shape.
You know, the harvest scare is probably more relevant right now than a frost scare. Could we get anything from a delayed harvest across parts of the country?
Theoretically, it's possible. Usually we don't have any reaction to delayed harvest because people assume that the reason it's delayed is because it's a big harvest, and so one offsets the other. And you know, I guess I could cross my fingers and say there might be, but I doubt it.
Yeah, you don't think it'll move the harvest low then before or after? Because I think your normal spot is October 3.
October 2nd on corn, October 3rd on soybeans, very reliable around that time period. And the thought has crossed my mind that it's possible, since harvest is going to be delayed a little bit, that the harvest low will be delayed a little bit. And you have to remember that this harvest low, even though you look at it on the chart and it looks like, well, there it is, October 2nd, but sometimes there are little variations in it. Like last year, we had a harvest low and then a rally back and then a new harvest low later, about 6 weeks, and then the rally back really took hold. So you kind of get these pictures in your mind from looking at the charts, but the markets don't always do exactly what the charts say exactly at the time.
Tell me where you are on the dead cat bounce right now, tracking in soybeans.
I started tracking soybeans 2nd of September, so we have now about 15 days. You have to have a sustained period of a few days going up before you can have a dead cat bounce. I mean, it's kind of self-fulfilling deal that you can't have the dead cat bounce until you have a bounce, by definition. And so we, as of today, which is the middle of the week, we've had just a couple days higher. Now, we like to see those days higher, but they don't account for much unless we can put at least 10 of them together. And so we watch it, we track it, but don't hang your hat on it until it happens.
How do basis numbers play into that?
Usually the dead cat bounce, a big part of it, especially with soybeans, is the basis improvement. Right now we've got a basis of about 80 under here in the country. Wouldn't surprise me to see it go to 50 under, but it probably won't do that until harvest is over or almost over. So again, watch for it, but don't hang your hat on it until you see something substantial.
Let's talk about selling this new crop. What targets are you looking at for corn or soybeans?
Well, soybeans, always look for at least a minimum of 50 cents off the harvest low. In the last few years, it's been $1, and I guess I'm thinking, you know, you split your crop and sell part of it at 50 cents and sell part of it at 75, and if you get $1, grab it. With corn, It's a little more of gradual improvement in the basis as we go into winter and spring, and we don't usually see that 50 cents up. Usually it's, gradually working its way up into April or May. And so I don't have any actual hard and fast numbers that I look for in corn, except that I like to see the spread, which right now is 28 cents a bushel here in southeast Nebraska. For people who are putting corn in the bin and are willing to take the risk away and hedge it, selling July futures and storing for the basis improvement and for the spread is a pretty reliable strategy in low price years like this.
Any thoughts on next week's USDA report on quarterly grain stocks?
We usually don't get the reaction from that report anywhere nearly as strongly as we get it from the September report. And I would like to think that there might be a positive surprise, but I can't imagine what that would be right now. I think we maybe have to wait till November, December for a positive surprise.